Well, yeah, I think that that is pretty much what everybody's looking at. Inflation seems to be stronger than what everybody has expected, and so the rate cuts that we were hoping for at the end of last year, it looks like they're going to be pushed back to maybe June or July of this year. Right now, it's pretty hard for the Fed to really cut interest rates because we've got inflation going, and really the only thing that they've got to control that is to try to increase interest rates, which nobody wants right now, which will be a really big drain on the economy. So we're really kind of in a real transitionary period, not only with a new government here in the United States, with Donald Trump coming in here in the next few days, but we've also got a lot of transition with what's going on in the economy. So things are really kind of up in the air. It's going to be interesting.
No doubt, and this is why we love what we do so much. But what I would like to understand here is, why is the timing such a concern? Because if we see the Fed actually delivering on those two rate cuts they had suggested for this year, why does it matter? Why investors now are thinking that that rate cut might not only come in June or July time?
Well, I mean, if we cut today and the interest rates are lowered right now, that's going to exacerbate the inflation that we've got, and that would be really detrimental to the economy. Americans and people worldwide really are really struggling with inflation in general right now, and that is really retarding the growth that we would like to see in the world economy, and making it so it's more difficult. So if you reduce those interest rates prematurely, it could really adversely impact what's going on in the economy. This is always a timing thing, and a lot of people were really skeptical that the Fed took so long to reduce interest rates, and it's turning out that that was probably about the right timing to do that. And I think holding off for a little while is a prudent move right now.
And what do you make of the growing narrative, considering whether perhaps the Fed will have to hike before the end of the year?
I don't know about that. I think that what we've really got to wait and see is what happens with the Trump administration. There is a lot of rhetoric about tariffs and about how different countries are working together. We've seen a lot of political turmoil. You know, saw the Canadian Prime Minister resign, and we've seen political upheavals in South Korea and in France and all in Austria, and there's a lot of different things going on in the world right now, and all of these dynamics play into that. When I look at the currency markets, I see a lot of U.S. dollar strength. We saw some temporary weaknesses on Monday this week, with some rumors that Trump's tariffs might not be nearly as deep as were originally thought. He corrected people on that, and so that brought the dollar back up.
Right.
So when we look at the markets, we've got to look at everything that's going on, not just interest rates in and of themselves. We've got to look at all the different aspects that are going into the whole market.
Naturally. And speaking of that, I want to get your thoughts on the fiscal position, because we actually heard from Fitch. They were warning about the U.S. debt ceiling conversations and whether we might actually see a stalemate over the coming months. What do you make of the fiscal position for the United States? Do you think that at one point this is actually going to raise alarm bells for the investment community?
Well, I mean, this has been a conversation that we've had for 40 or 50 years. It is always a conversation when it comes to budget times. And, when you have people on different sides of the political spectrum, there's always going to be disagreements on it. Would I like to have the U.S. debt lower? Absolutely, I would. But at the same time, the economy is working, and business is doing well. So I don't think that it is going to be an issue long term. It's one of those short term political issues that will work itself out in the end.